the EU has been told to change its attitude towards the Brexit negotiations as the transition period deadline hurtles nearer, with UK officials demanding final moves to get a deal across the line. Cabinet Office Minister Michael Gove is meeting EU Commission Vice President Maros Sefcovic on Monday to discuss how the withdrawal agreement is being implemented. Mr. Gove has said an agreement can be reached if there is compromise from the European Union. BBC political correspondent Ian Watson detailed what kind of compromises might be needed to achieve a Brexit deal by the deadline. He told viewers, "The separate thing which is going on is the question of our future trading relationship with the EU when the transition period comes to an end on December 31st. The only talks that appear to be going on there is potentially a phone call between the UK's chief negotiator, Lord Frost, and Michel Barnier. The formal talks in London that were supposed to be taking place this week are no longer taking place." At the end of last week, the Prime Minister and Downing Street officials declared effectively that the trade talks were over unless the EU changed its attitude. Mr. Watson continued, "Their argument is that the EU has never quite got its collective head around the idea that the UK is now an independent state. They think it has to change its attitude in order for those talks to be resurrected. So if we do want a trade deal which would involve no tariffs and taxes on goods going either side of the Channel after December, then they want to see some movement from the EU. And a willingness from the EU to compromise on some of the sticking points, for example on fisheries and state aid." The BBC journalist added, "Unless they get a signal that that's going to happen, then Boris Johnson is still saying that they should be preparing for no deal. That would therefore see tariffs imposed on goods and very likely food prices going up. So the question really is, can they avert that? Today's talks with Michael Gove are still an important issue but a side issue, not relevant to our future trading relationship.